whatever's going on.
Yeah.
How's it going on? Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I do have an intro. I forgot. I haven't done them. Guys, it's that time again. It's time for STURD-O-VISION. Yes. STURD-O-VISION. And remember that movie we reviewed last week? The Mummy Murders? Well, guess what? We have an interview tonight. Yes, tonight. Uzi, Pinky Ring. Shout out to Wu-Tang. You know that link is in the description. Doing this whole music thing. Check out the song, people. But tune in. The Mummy Murders. Yeah, interview. And I'm so excited for this. I am so excited for this. So, without further ado, let's get to this interview. Welcome to the madness. Yes. Welcome.
Love it.
Now, I'll say this. I'm sorry I didn't change the names on the poster. That was already made. As you know, things got changed literally last minute. I was like, that's too much shit to go. I was at the movies. I'm just coming home and seeing this. I'm like, shit, Colin. But Will, Jason, nice to have you guys here. Appreciate having you guys here. Thank you guys for joining us.
Appreciate it.
And we have the writer and the actor from the movie. And this wasn't even expected, which is cool as hell.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having on.
Well, I got to ask them, what were you expecting? What were the expectations?
I was expecting Will and Colin. So you were a surprise.
Well, hold on. I can do Colin. Okay, hold on. I can get into character. If you need me to do Colin for you, I can do Colin.
Oh wow! Look at that. Listen, if you could do Colin and Jason, that'd be pretty impressive.
I've worked with Colin on a couple of projects. So before the end of this interview, I might bust into Colin. I don't know. We'll see.
Did you do Remy's Demons? Were you a part of that?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I got to play Remy in that part. That was an interesting film to be a part of for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome because I think that's around when me and Colin first linked up. How I do not remember.
Yeah,
but I remember he sent me that movie to check out and review. And I think that's when I first interviewed him. And then ever since then, we've just been linking up ever since, which is freaking great.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You were a part of that.
That real quick story. We're in the room where I auditioned for Remy's Demons, and some really weird. You said I can say shit, right?
Oh, you could say whatever. Well,
yeah, if I can say shit, no, I don't think you can say shit, but you can say shit. Go ahead.
Some really weird shit went down in this room during my audition. So if there are any spirits or people in this room that want to come through and talk to us tonight, please, we welcome your presence. So, but yeah, Remy's Demons was a hell of a film and a hell of an audition. So, but yeah.
Wow. So that's cool. So it's cool that you already got to actually work with him. You know how he is as a director. Let's go, Scene Snobs. That's pretty cool with that. And how about you, Will? How did you get connected with Colin?
Actually, my original film school was the Film Connection, where he was my mentor, and so we got to work together. He knew I was a writer, and then our relationship just progressed from there.
Onto what is this like? Is this the first project you guys worked on together though? First film?
Yeah, we did some shoots with them on different projects, but as far as something that I had written, this is one.
Okay. What was your mindset going into this? Like, would they give you the title first, or did you say I have a story about this and let's work with it? Or
first it was the character. It's always the character for me. Names change a lot. We actually went through a few name changes, tossing some names out there, seeing what sounded best at the end with the story. And I think it's like that with a lot of production. Kind of, you see what the result is at the end, and then you can kind of, it makes a little more sense. The names do,
Okay. What was going through your mindset as playing the main villain probably in this film?
Villain?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or I should say, hold on, the main artiste.
Exactly. There's villain. That's a very specific word. Before we get too far lost from it, Will, thank you so much for also, along with Colin, letting me get into that character. It's one of those that when you read it, you can't go half-assed into it. You've got to go to the deepest, darkest spots of yourself and just let it all fly. If you go halfway on something like that, then it comes through in the performance, and then people they tune out after the 23-minute mark. So it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I liked your character a lot. I like how it played off, where you're one of those genius characters who know what they're doing and they want to show off what they got. Someone else got credit for it, and you're like, no, wait a minute, I want to take my credit. I thought it was really cool.
Which is just a wild, crazy ass thing. Like, okay, cool, you did this and you got away with this. Shouldn't you be more proud of that or happy of that than someone else getting credit for your murder? Like, oh fuck, I gotta get credit for this.
Yeah, I think that's. I didn't purposely think of it this way, but now that you mention it, yeah, Joe's very much a modern day man, because I want credit for what I did. So everyone needs to have eyes on him. So no, I'm the one that murdered, or mummified all those women. So yeah, Joe needed his credit for sure.
Which we actually have a question out here for you guys. How long was the shoot?
I will. How long? I mean, you guys started before me for a little bit. How long did y'all really go for before I got on board?
Let's see. Well, the main shoot we did in 3 days. It was everybody worked together. Went really, really smooth. But as far as we did a lot of pickup shots where we could get the opportunity, weather pending, if everybody's available. So it's hard to really say, but I feel like we probably had all the shots maybe weeks. Colin will probably see that, like, no, that's not right. Before 6 weeks, I think, something like that.
Yeah. I remember it was that first week or second week in January, a good solid 3 to 4 days of just going in there and plopping into, and I mean this as a compliment, Will, like Tarantino-ish dialogue, like pages on pages of just dialogue and pounding it. Yeah, it was intense. So yeah, for me, a good solid week. And then I think I broke for a little bit and then came back a couple of weeks later to do a couple of pickup shots, kind of give me some time to grow out the facial hair for the scene on the bus at the end, the Clarice, nod there. So yeah, overall for me, I worked for maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks if you put it all together in total.
Now, going back to what Matt was asking you earlier, like getting into character, is it something where you have to be alone or watch a certain thing or listen to a certain thing to get into a certain mindset, or is it just like a switch you can turn on and off?
For me personally, and having worked with Colin before on Remy and then now with Mummy, I allow myself enough time to go through the lines, to get the dialogue down as close as I can, if I'm being completely honest, because sometimes I get so wrapped up in the character that and we talked about this, Will, certain lines just feel better coming out a different way. If you focus too much on certain scenes, I need to hit this mark for my other actor or actress to come in. That's great. But there were some scenes or takes where I told Colin, I was like, I'm just going to give you what you want and just go where the character takes me. And I'm happy that a lot of that made it in the final film. But no, for me, it's a switch that I can turn on fairly easy. Even though I have a day job and I'm a dad, I'm constantly studying film, studying other actors. So when I get on set, you kind of tell me the XYZ of what you want to accomplish, and then I just dive in and go for it. And I know that if I don't hit it, if I get it wrong, then that's when Will, Colin, or whoever's on the other side of the lens will kind of course correct. But yeah, I'm fortunate enough to where it's a switch I just kind of flip on and go for it.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Now, for you, Will, when actors or actresses come up to you and they're like, "I want to, I want to change this," does that bother you as a writer ever?
Not at all. No. And as the writer, you do want to get it on, film, once, get one good take with it, and then after that, let them, riff, let them play with the character, let them, especially with somebody like Jason, he really thinks about these characters, and he, like you said, he studies them, and he sits in the dark, kind of wondering how to play it for a long time. So if you don't let him go, you might miss a lot of that artistry that those artists like Jason bring to the table. So I don't like it at all to confine them to every little word, and
Yeah,
yeah, I fully support them kind of changing it up a little bit, and y'all can. I think everybody has seen work and better.
that's fair. That's fair.
I think that.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think Will, there was one line that you were very particular about the mummifying. Do you remember that? We talked about it.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that's good. I like that you brought that to my attention because, like you said, for that 1 to 5% of those out there that would understand that word or that message you're trying to get across, I love it. It's one of those things where 95% of the audience is just going to glaze over it, but that one or two, morticians or that small percentage is really going to key into that. So that's important too, I think, as well as a writer and a storyteller, that you fight for those. So good on you for doing that, Will. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was just the moniker that the news gave him, that mummy murderer. It was just a line in there where he corrected them to say, "Well, I don't mummify," because I wasn't in for a while. In fact, in funeral school is where I got the idea for the character. So I thought it was. I knew a small percentage out there would hear it, and not right.
Hang on. Funeral school?
Yeah, there's people at mortician school.
Right.
I never knew this shit. I just thought they did something like doctors, but the opposite. It was just like,
no, they actually have their own courses and everything.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was in the military for a while, and when I've always been a writer, but I needed a day job, so I went to the Dallas Institute of Funeral Science up there in Dallas, Texas, for my degree in funeral science.
Wow, that's interesting.
Appreciate it.
That's interesting. That's I've never heard that from anybody before. That's a first, and that's fucking that's awesome. Holy shit. I don't even know what to think. Oh my gosh, my mind's blown from that. That's wow.
Just go to a building and stick them in the ground. There's a whole deal about what they had to do.
Well, I understand all that, and I see in the movies. I know how it works. You cut the body open, you're eating, you put it down, then a ghost comes. I get it.
Well, and to Will's credit too, there's a lot of detail that we talked about in the spoiler alert, the shower scene when I'm doing the thing I'm doing to the one girl that I've got strung up. Remember, Will, about how we would sever things, how we would insert this, and how we would sew things up. So, as an actor, you wish every one of those little details could make it into the final project. I know some of it didn't quite make it, but his knowledge on how to properly do it really came in handy. And I left there a new man, so I picked up a new skill. So thanks, Will. Appreciate it.
That scene with everybody not wanting to make eye contact.
Yeah.
I bet you left a lot of weirdness on the set. Don't stay away from him for a little while.
Jason's still not reaching out to him because they had to watch him do it.
Yeah.
Now, was this story based on any true events? Like, was there an actual individual who did this, and that's where you got the idea for, or was this just something that you figured, let's work on this?
Yeah, I just had the idea for the character, and then I was like, well, in what context would I bring this character to life? So of course we subconsciously pull from all the movies we've seen, and those wheels are just spinning in your head. So you put it on paper and you change it 100 times and just hope that it ends up with something good.
Now, you said you were a mortician, which I still can't get over,
Uh-huh.
which I just think is awesome. And in the military, when did you, like, in all that, when did you want to be a writer? Or was it something you always wanted to do and maybe never found the chance? Or
Yeah, I've been writing since I was 11 or 12. Always knew I wanted to be a writer. Started out trying to be a novelist, still pursuing that goal as well. But didn't go to film school. I'd say maybe 4 years ago is when I started.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh wow,
I think 6 years ago is when I wrote my first script.
okay.
How long does it take you to write a script?
It really just depends on which script it is. Usually I can knock out a first draft, 3 or 4 weeks, a good solid one. But you know, I do short stories when I'm having when I can't think. You know, if I'm at writer's block, up a 3-page script, just as a creative exercise. So it really just would depend.
That's cool.
But you know, I mean, you write and you rewrite and you fix it 100. So it's like never.
I got all these stories in my head. I'm trying to figure out how I can write it down and be like, this would make a great idea for a movie and shit like that.
Yeah, I keep a well, I used to keep a recorder with me. Now you can do it on your phone. You know, if you have a thought, Siri, remember this. So
Yeah, that's true.
Middle
That's
of the night,
very true.
probably woke up 100 times. Just go to bed.
Like, I'm writing a story.
Right.
I'm trying to write a movie.
Like, write it, don't say it.
So are any plans for like maybe a sequel in the works?
Ooh.
What do you think, Jason?
Let's face it, this day and age, Will, you gotta have a sequel.
He's right.
But no,
He's right.
Honestly, there was with most films, there's like so many different endings that you want to do, and I know that there was a couple of different endings, Will, that were kind of up in the air, and I think that if the spirit moved you and you were able to put ink to paper or whatever kids do these days, I think Joe deserves a sequel. You know, there's some other stuff out there we could do with him.
Yeah, I've definitely already been jotting down ideas. So.
There we go.
Well, let me know. I'm going to start growing my hair out. So, you know, let me know before I start growing it. I'm just kidding. It's never coming back. I've told my son that it's never coming back. So
get that man a wig.
I wanted to play younger Joe, but they're like, yeah, you can't play younger Joe. Let's get someone with hair and abs to do that. So, but I fought it, but they're like, no, we're going to go in another direction.
At least you tried, man. You know.
Yeah.
Stars, right?
Yeah.
Joe was such an interesting character too, because I'm just, first of all, I'd be so mad. You're just sitting out at the coffee shop, minding your own business, having a cookie, something to drink, and this crazy son of a bitch just sits right in front of you and just says the wildest shit you ever heard in your life, and you're just like, oh shit. And as a reporter, you're like, I need to hear more. Like me, I'm like, you know what? This is too fucking crazy. I gotta go.
Yeah.
No, I'm not interested. No, thank you. Because that was just like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's a battle of
egos.
you know, as a writer, you know, she thinks of herself as an artist too. So Joe can't stop, and neither can she.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my problem as a podcaster, because I'd be like, yo, guys, I got this crazy ass story. But at the same time, I feel like I'd be like, you know what? This guy's a little bit too crazy for me. They're like, nah, I don't. I gotta go. I'm scared. It was just, and like how calm he was the whole time, saying all this stuff that he did. How are you gonna be that calm saying all this stuff you did? And I'm just waiting for like somebody in the background to hear him. But I guess he's talking quiet enough and the place is loud enough, but it doesn't seem like it's that loud.
Right.
And it seems like I mean, because we're right there. It seems like Joe's conversation with I don't remember her name, but
Alexa.
with her, it seemed like their conversation was louder than what it was. But I guess because it was right there and that's what we were focused on. But it just seemed like someone would hear something. I was like, how does nobody hear him saying this shit at all?
Well, what you didn't notice is everyone in the cafe, they're all on their phones. It's 2023, so no one's paying attention to shit.
True.
So
True. That no, that's a great point. That is a great point because when you're not in your phones, you're kind of, even if you're in conversation, you're still kind of looking around, and you can kind of look at some people like, what the fuck? What's going on over there? Like, why is it? She looks uncomfortable. He just looks.
it's just your average middle-aged white dude drinking a glass of milk with a severed finger in a basket. There's nothing to see here.
A severed finger in a basket. And how he just takes that out and just sets it down like it's nothing, like it's a breadstick. I'm like, what the? How are you this calm? And why are you still sitting there, woman? Get up.
I just liked how they played the part where she would, like you said, as someone sits down a finger in front of you, majority of us are going to freak out and be like, what the fuck? But since she's a reporter, and I remember like when you were saying in the beginning of the story, have you ever lied, talk about lying and doing your journal? This is where an opportunity is like, wait a minute, this guy's sitting down a finger. Maybe he's got something. Maybe I got a story here. And I like how that all played off down the road where she has to stay for this guy to listen because now she's got a story. She's got something that she could work with and maybe get herself what she wants. And that's what she wants, is to become like a famous writer or a famous author and everything. It's like, oh, he's really in the gold and he's brought me this. I'm like, all right, let's see what we got.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And the ending was cool too. I like how that everything wrapped around. I don't want to spoil the ending, even though we did it in the previous
we did last time.
Yep.
Well, the review, that's different. They know that's gonna be a spoiler review.
Yeah.
They know that. What was your favorite part of playing Jason? Like, was it the mind games, or was it the crazy kills that you described?
The kills, those are always fun, even though it's not in my opinion, and Will, you wrote it, it's not just a slap you in the face straight up horror. It's got that slow build, that slow burn. It's a little bit of suspense. We tried to make that happen the best we could. Honestly, going into it, I flipping hated. I don't say hated. All of the dialogue is like, how in the hell am I going to pull this off? But then now sitting back and watching it and just seeing the back and forth, that was my favorite part, was just being able to sit down there, straight face, just staring at her and delivering my lines and just going the pacing of everything. So that was really enjoying for me, and that's funny to say out loud now, like, oh, I enjoyed all the lines I had to memorize, but it really was just sitting down and being able to just play that character as silent as I possibly could and deliver those lines right to her. That was very interesting.
I like that. I like that. That's definitely an interesting take on that, because it's just like, it really was a scene, just having a conversation with somebody, a crazy one, but having one.
Yeah, that's the best as far as during the making of it. Now the behind the scenes stuff, we can get into that later on, but in the actual movie itself, that was pretty cool.
Is it hard not to laugh at some stuff like that? Like, because I just feel like some of the stuff that Jason says in this movie, or you say in this movie, I would laugh just as like the actor, just like, I can't believe I'm saying this crazy ass shit, and it's just like, oh man, but I know you can't. But is it hard, like at first, like not laughing or chuckling at something like that?
Blooper reel.
I try to get the laughs out while I'm in this room or going and walking and memorizing everything, so that way when I'm there, I'm just in the character. But yeah, there's always moments of just saying something that once they say, cut, then you break into, my God, I can't believe I just fucking said that. It's just weird, So.
Oh, I love it.
How about you, Will? I'm going to question you. When you're writing it, do you get to the end of a paragraph or a sentence or a monologue and be like, what the fuck? Like, and chuckle out loud that you just wrote all that?
My wife does. She'll look at me. She'll be like, "What the hell is this? What did you?" But but really she's super supportive and follows it up with a big kiss and is like, oh, that's brilliant. But no, I don't freak myself out too much about it.
That's good. That's good. I think.
Well, a lot of these, like the thing Joe does is I've worked in the funeral industry, so you see a lot of death and stuff like that. So a lot of these things, bar the serious stuff, a lot of these things aren't odd to someone who's seen a lot of the stuff.
Okay, that makes sense.
Killer part, yeah, I just have to make sure that my kids know is just a character. I'm not, silent serial killer or anything.
That's what they all say, Will. That's what they all say. Flash forward 10 years from now, you're going to be on Dateline. We're going to reference this interview. So,
like Joe.
Oh man. So I guess let's hop into some behind the scenes stuff. If you guys, whatever you guys can talk about. And I know you said there was something funny, Jason. You're leaning towards it.
Not funny, I guess, but just like you get this moment, you're like, okay, this is weird. Young lady that I had strung up in the shower, and I was creating part of my masterpiece with. Poor thing was strung up and couldn't really move, and we broke for lunch, so everyone hauled ass out to the backyard, and this poor girl was just kind of, okay, I'm just half naked, strung up here with fake blood everywhere. So being the gentleman that Joe is, because I am a gentleman, contrary to what some may say, I brought her a slice of pizza. So then I sat there and ate pizza and salad with like all of this fake blood down the center of her being, all over the floor. And I'm like, this is a cool moment. I'm eating pizza and salad with a half-naked girl with a bunch of fake blood strung up in the shower.
So how's it hanging?
Thank you. There you go. So that was a weird moment for sure.
That doesn't see, and that's the cool shit you don't hear. Like just little shit like that is cool. And then you went and got a slice of pizza for yourself and her. You did say you sat down and ate a slice of pizza. You didn't say you gave her any. You should say everybody went for lunch.
She ate. Yes, the actress was fed, but
good.
Yeah,
I've been real fucked up. Like, listen, I'm just playing my character. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Was this a local movie for you guys, or did you guys have to travel pretty far to get to these roles and to these locations?
It was all local. It was all San Antonio based. All San Antonio based, in the outlying area. A little bit in Bernie, I think. And of course the actors, but they were still Texas-based actors. Austin.
Okay,
that's cool. They have to travel far,
right?
Yeah, that makes it a hell of a lot easier.
That'll be in the sequel, because I want Joe to be like on a beach somewhere. So I'm thinking Port A, sun's going down. I'm pitching it.
I was thinking somewhere cold, but we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Get her. What's her face trying to track him down?
Keep the meat fresh longer. Throws up.
Like have Joe look always looking around just behind his shoulder all the time. Now she becomes the serial killer. Killer among killers.
You know what's funny too is we watched and reviewed that movie last week, and then on my show that I do on Tuesday and Thursday, I watched Maniac recently, the Maniac and the remake, and just from that and Joe's character, there was so many similarities. I'm just like, really? Holy shit!
I have to watch that one.
Just how he's so like. Joe's way more intelligent than this guy is, but they're both nuts. They're both nuts in their own ways. And the guy's way more violent than Joe is. But again, it's just like, you see these guys, you might as well just hope they meet up with each other and fight each other or something. They just leave you alone. But they're just wild.
Hope they don't.
It's all against women. Like, they're all like towards women for whatever reason. Well, yeah.
Mommy issues.
In Maniac, you'll see. Yes, in Maniac, it is mommy issues.
Go around just gulping women.
I think I've seen advertisements or a poster maybe, but I haven't watched it though. I have to watch
Yeah,
it.
they did a remake that came out in 2012, which isn't bad at all. Which is good, as well as the original 80 or 81.
Oh,
I believe
okay.
Around 81.
Gotcha.
80, yeah. But I recommend those two, and I feel like you'll see what I'm talking about when you see him. When you see the way he's acting through the movie, like, oh, I get it. He's not as intelligent, but holy shit, he's crazy. Like, just he's a maniac. I mean, the movie.
There you go.
So you guys planning on releasing this movie on like a physical release down the road? Do you guys have like to do that or no?
Like DVD for order, you mean?
Yeah, DVD, Blu-ray, or
yeah, you can buy the DVDs on Amazon, and I think a few other. I've ordered a few from Amazon myself to give to family and whatnot.
Nice.
There
you go. Here's a Christmas present. Here's me as a serial killer. Here's me as a killer. Have fun.
Yeah.
Make sure you autograph it. You have to autograph it for family just to piss them off.
Yeah.
That would be the only reason I would autograph something for my family, just to like, oh my god, Jesus, why are you signing this? Because I'm in it. You'd want the autograph from anybody else, but because I'm in it, you don't want the autograph,
Right?
You know,
Nice.
That's why you're only in it for 30 seconds. Were you in it? Exactly.
I would like to get one and get with the cast and get all the cast to sign it just for myself.
Start with Jason.
Guys, starting with Jason. Got to go. Start with the main man.
You want it signed in blood or milk? Like what would you want? Like a milk signature or blood signature? What works for you?
I would say mix the two. It's a good.
When he returns to the movie, there's a finger inside.
Yeah. Speaking of bloody milk, can we say what the embalming fluid was, Will? Do you want to share that?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
What it was? It wasn't strawberry milk. What was it?
It was strawberry milk. Yeah.
Strawberry milk.
Perfect. It looks just identical though.
So that's what the fluid really looks like. So we're sitting there and I'm pumping her full of this stuff and it's just flowing everywhere. And it's just oozing strawberry milk. So, so next time you have a tall glass of Nestle's, just think embalming fluid. You're welcome.
Well, if it tastes that good, shit. Sign me up.
A little bit for you, a little bit for me, a little bit for you.
That's all we needed next, huh? Was him drinking some strawberry milk next to her, talking to her. Like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you, man?
That's a cool question. Like, why would you use embalming fluid? Why, that was a cool idea that they use, because a lot of times killers use, strangulation, knives, some type of drowning, or whatever weapon to use. This was a really cool weapon of choice of embalming fluid. Like you see Joe's character mature, and not mature, but more develop himself down the road. Like first he was doing the strangulation, keeping the bodies over, and like, okay, now it's rotting. Yeah. Let's work my way up. That was kind of weird. Why did you come up with embalming fluid?
Well, you want to come out with something original, and of course it tied into the whole boyhood of Joe. That's he grew up in a My Girl Situation funeral home. Also, he like we said in the movie, he likes to, the character likes to watch it slowly happen. It's about this violent gratification for him. He's creating art, and if you're doing a painting takes a while, if this huge drawing or something, whatever your choice is. He wanted to have it gradually happen, I guess, and that's not only that, but he wanted to preserve them long enough to keep them with him. So if he was violent or something like that, he'd have to get, and he'd be like a serial killer. So try to come up with something original and hope people like it.
Yeah, kind of reminded me of the movie Anatomy. I don't know if you ever saw that horror movie. I think it was like a British film. They were using a special liquid when they injected them. It made the blood like solidify, and they turned them into the anatomy class projects. You know, like you have the body there that's half
Oh
dissected,
shit!
and they were all, and they made those. So they killed people. It was like a society that would do that.
That's
They
hilarious.
would target certain people, inject them with the fluid. Everything was just solidify. You would freeze, and they can dissect you, take parts, and turn you into anatomy pieces.
Oh, I want
Anatomy.
to see that. I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
see that.
Y'all are yelling at me today. I haven't seen these movies. They sound great, though.
Oh, I've seen
Oh
too many.
man, yeah, I can't stop.
Nope.
I can't stop.
I'm a big collector in physical media, and I definitely want to find this movie and add it to my collection. I own over about 5,000 titles on physical
God
media.
damn, man. This is why it's so hard for me to stump him in a movie. Like I'll get some random. Yo, you ever see this? And he'll send me a picture. Yeah, I have it on Blu-ray. I'm like, yo, fuck you. I thought I did something here, and you know, I have it on Blu-ray. I had it for like 6 years now. Like, what the, you didn't have to throw all that extra shit in there, man.
I have to. Like, I'm also a big supporter of independent films too, because without the independent films, you never know what's going to happen, and help support them, and it helps make them grow into whatever they need to grow into, be a bigger, better filmmaker, writer, actor, actress, whatever. And then all of a sudden at these cons, they show up and go, "Hey, guess what? I got your first film from such and such," and show it to them. Like, holy shit!
That's so awesome. Like, how the hell do you have? I don't even remember this movie. Like, how the fuck don't you remember that? I love this movie. I love that shit. I can't wait. Oh man, cons. Do you guys do cons? Horror conventions?
It's been a couple of years since I've done anything like that, and I'll still try to get out to it every so often to like the little horror conventions here in San Antonio or the bigger cons back in the day. Those are always fun. You get to meet 1,000 different people, and they might not know who you are, but they'll look at your product, talk to you for a little bit. You get to tell stories, so it's definitely fun to get out and do.
That's how I met some directors and actresses, that by going to cons, they're showing off their films, and you're like, "What is that?" And you start talking about it, and sometimes they'll play a little reel, or you have the movie right there, and you pick it up and like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." All of a sudden, you go home, and you're like, "Holy cow, this movie's fucking amazing!" Then it's pretty much the spread of the word. You know, everyone's doing it. I do movie reviews on my YouTube channel, and I'll review it, and a lot of people are like, "Well, where'd you get it?" Boom, 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 and hopefully that helps promote more sales, and hopefully gets the movie out there for more people to see. And the cons are great because you get to talk to everybody. That's so much fun. That's why I love doing cons.
Hell, they're awesome. They're awesome.
That's how Aaron and I met. We met at a con.
Yep.
Really? Oh, really?
Yep. Hell yeah. Yeah. It was a few years back, and funny story actually, because my brother used to live out here in Albany, and now he moved out to Colorado. And the funny thing is, the year he moved up to Colorado, a few months later, Robert Englund was going to be here at this con that me and Matt met at. So, and Freddy is my brother's favorite slasher. So he was pissed. His wife was telling me, like, when he was making his lunch, he was like slamming stuff on the counter and everything like a kid. He was pissed. But yeah, me and him met at that con, and been friends ever since. And the funny thing is, me, him, and my brother have a picture together. We met at another con. Didn't exchange names, but he has a gremlin with a baby carrier that he would carry around. Can we take a picture with you? And that was it. And about 3 years later, we were friends.
That's awesome.
What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah. And that's awesome horror stuff.
Well, that's the other nice thing about the cons. You get to meet other fans. You get to meet people that are into the same stuff, and you get to see the obscure movies that no one's heard of. And you know, it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate you supporting local film and wanting to buy the hard copy. Like you said, you got over 5,000, films in your collection. So in this day and age, it's unfortunate, but you tell your friends or your colleagues that you made a movie, and there's like, okay, well, where can I see it? And you're like, oh, it's over here, and it only costs this much. And they're like,
yep.
Okay, well, thanks. And they like, you cough up the $10 and support, local film. So I appreciate you doing that.
No problem.
Oh,
Thank you.
hell yeah. All about that indie scene, because it's really cool, honestly. It's really cool when you get to see certain things. And then, I mean, having a podcast, shit, you get to do these awesome interviews. Sometimes you get to see some behind the scenes shit, depending on how cool you get with people and just how you treat people with this stuff. And I love doing this. So, you get to see some cool shit. Support indie, people. Support indie. Trust me.
Support physical media.
That too. That especially. Like, you see Best Buy's getting rid of like all their physical media, their CDs and DVDs. I'm like, this is just bad. It's stupid. And listen, people, buy physical media. You know what's gonna happen to you guys? Everybody that's out there that's 100% streaming, your favorite movies are gonna get pulled off of streaming one day. Your favorite shows are gonna get pulled off of streaming one day. And guess what? Even if you bought it, guess what? So what?
Yep.
So what? You just borrowed it. And then if it goes up somewhere else, you better get that app or go buy it again or go rent it again. Get the physical media. You only got to buy it once, even though we buy it about 64 times because Friday the 13th comes out so much.
I know how many times I bought that fucking movie.
Boom.
You mentioned Best Buy. I was working at Best Buy in 1999 when cassette tapes were on their way out, and then VHS came in, and then what's Blu-ray? What's high def? Like, what's this stuff? So yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because physical media, it's disappearing.
It is, but I do feel, I'll say just because I pay attention to the horror field more, but it's probably just people that are in their 30s and up, maybe even some of the younger people now, are getting more into like the VHS stuff and getting back into Blu-rays and DVDs more so than just in the streaming, because they're seeing what's going on with when shit gets taken down from streaming, even with games now. Like they can just take it away, and then I'm like, that's
streaming. You don't own the rights. That's the thing. You can go watch your favorite movie on streaming. Yeah, it's just a click away from a remote. Whereas a streaming, let's say this movie, for instance, you want to watch this movie. If you go on a streaming service, okay, you have to pay, like I said, you have to pay like $10 to watch it. A lot of people are like, I'm not gonna spend $10, especially for this and that. Or the people who do spend $10, okay, you support, you watch the movie, you have a good time, it's there. Then the service can go, you know what? We need more room in our hard drives.
Yeah.
We'll take these movies down. And all of a sudden you're like, you have a bunch of friends over to watch it. Boom, it's gone. It's like, what the fuck happened to this movie?
Buy physical.
I bought it, but where is it? Whereas if you buy a physical, it's tangible. I mean, I have it now. It's in my hands. It's sitting on my shelf. If friends want to come over 2 years down the road, guess what? We can pop it in, watch it, and have a good time. That's what a lot of people don't get.
I wouldn't even be as mad if you just gave me my money back. Shit. How are you going to sit there and make me pay for something and then just take it, and then that's it? At least give me half of it back. Something.
No, they don't. They want your money. They don't give a crap about that.
Greedy.
You have the money. You got your actors, you got your writers, you got your directors. Yeah, the streaming give you a certain amount of money for it, but when you buy a physical, you're actually supporting all those actors and actresses, writers, directors, photographers behind the scenes. That's helping go to them because that's making them money towards that, so they can make their next project and whatnot. And what happens is if that doesn't happen, guess what? Like, well, no one liked my movie. I guess I won't write anymore. I'll go back to being a mortician, or I'm gonna go back to Best Buy and work somewhere.
No,
a mortician at Best Buy.
That's the thing. I'm gonna speak for Will and speak for myself. Is once this is in you, there's no shelf life for a writer or shelf life for an actor. I'll disappear for 15 years, but I'll pop back up like something you got at spring break in '99. I'm never gonna go away. So actors and writers, we never disappear. We're always gonna be around.
Nice.
That's right.
I like that. Speaking of which, do you have any projects coming up, Will, or any ideas you have floating around that you can share?
I got a lot of projects going. Probably got, I don't know, about 7 features floating around out there doing the festival. Just trying to just keep writing and get the work out there to people.
I like that.
So yeah, always something going on.
Staying busy.
Got to. And
how about you, Jason?
I'm actually going to be wrapping up here in the next couple of weeks or a couple of months. Again, it's local film, so schedules are always a little funky. But I should have cleared this with him before I said this, so I'm not sure what all I can say. But just imagine, if you will, your favorite superhero just one day gets abducted by the Manson family and is forced to recreate scenes from one of their all-time favorite movies, and just chaos ensues. So that's about all I'll leave it. And hopefully, if the director,
no, not poor Aquaman. No, I'm just kidding.
hopefully the gentleman I'm working with, Taylor, hopefully if the director here, if he sees this, I didn't give away too much, but that's the best way to imagine this project. It's hopefully going to be out before Christmas time, but we'll see.
Cool.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, I guess we can wrap this one up. Listen, people, go watch that fucking movie. That shit was dope. Go buy it, rent it.
I just bought it on Amazon while we were talking.
Boom.
And I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys, and physical media is important.
Very.
But you can also, after you watch this, go click a button and order it digitally, and you can watch it that way too before you order your hard copy. I'm cool with that
He's
too.
right. He's right.
Test it out before you drive it.
That's fair too. Rent it. If you don't like it, at least you rented it, right? But seriously, go check it out, people. I think you'll enjoy the movie. I'm glad you had these two gentlemen on. Colin,
thank you for coming on.
Next time.
Yep.
Hopefully you're here. And other than that, people, I'll see you in your nightmares. Peace.
Appreciate